It's Abby Glassenberg here at Craft Industry Alliance. I hope you are doing okay today. It is bright and sunny and weirdly warm here in Boston, but I'm enjoying that nice part of today. We are excited to do our member spotlight, which we do every Wednesday. We have this new time of noon Eastern. And today we're going to be speaking with someone who is a really active participant in our craft business roundtables, which I love. It's Bea Byrne, and Bea actually has a really neat business model. So she has been organizing and hosting online summits. And I love this idea. I think it might have taken off a little bit more during the pandemic when we were all at home, but is still a great way to be exposed to new teachers, new ideas from the consumer point of view. And learn more about what Bea has organized. Her business is called Quilt and Learn. And she was just talking yesterday about some really great sponsors that she's secured. Hey, Bea, how are you?
Hi there. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. I was just saying that you were at our craft business roundtable yesterday,
That's
which
right.
great. Nice to see you. And I love that you come and participate in those meetings. It's always really interesting to hear what's new with everybody. So I'd love to learn a little bit more. Maybe we can start with the origin of your business because I think it's such a cool business model, at least a part of your business that you're really pursuing now. And I wondered how it kind of came about.
Yeah, so I was working in big tech 2 years ago, getting very stressed and very burnt out. And then just over 18 months ago, I got laid off, which was a blessing because of all the stress. And I decided then that I wasn't going to go back and wanted to start my own business. And then did the most haphazard range of things without any particular plan. And at the same time, I was enjoying events like, for instance, the Making Zen Summit, which has
Yeah.
been running for a few years now. And in fact, I think it's coming up again. I was looking around thinking, hey, it would be great if there was a quilting version of this that I could take part in myself, because it's a great way to learn and be introduced to new teachers and new artists. And I couldn't find one. And so I'm the type of person where if there's not something happening that I want to happen, then I'm just going to start organizing it and grab everyone else to get involved as we go along. So extremely not the way to start a new business, and with no idea at the time that this would become like my main income source. I decided to start what was then Quilt 2024 and became Quilt and Learn, and launched these summits. So the first one was in January this year. And of course, the build up takes several months. So it all started some months previously in 2023. There was another one in July, and the next one is going to be in January next year. And then I'm also planning for July as well, which is going to be the Tour de Fabric, much like the Tour de Fleece that the spinners and knitters do, or at least borrowing elements from that. And then I'm also looking to grow the business by incorporating creative business summits into it as well, because I feel like there's a lot of summits for like mum entrepreneurs or mompreneurs, and people in different facets of business, but there aren't that many, or I haven't found a big one for creative business owners.
That's
So that's the direction I'm going in
Yeah,
future.
fabulous. So, one of the things I think is really cool about the Tour de Fabric that you mentioned is that I feel like there's so many crossovers and things that we can learn from one another in different sectors of the craft industry. And so, part of, my joy in this job as well as in helping with H&H has been seeing some of that sort of cross fertilization and new ideas that maybe we were sort of siloed previously to at least to a degree, even though lots of people are multi-craftual. But like the sectors, the industry part of it has sort of been separated. And I love to see like, oh, here's a model. We could do something similar, adapt it for, our people and kind of make it work. So I think that's super cool.
Absolutely. And I think it's useful to remember that we couldn't, or I couldn't, I don't think, have done this unless the pandemic had happened, because the pandemic introduced people of all ages, all places in the world to places like Zoom and working online and absorbing content online. Before, there was very much a feeling that in person was best and online was a kind of like poor second when it came to learning. But now I think we've all realized that we can all learn very effectively. And yes, there are some things that are obviously going to be more useful to be taught online, or I'm sorry, taught in person, or in a particular way or with particular camera angles. But there's a lot of things, especially with quilting, that can work really, really well online. So yeah, if the pandemic hadn't trained everybody to use Zoom, I think I'd probably be doing something quite different right now.
Yeah, and so the way, explain a little bit about the structure or the way that a virtual summit works, because maybe folks have seen them or heard of them, but never really understood sort of the inner workings of how this is presented, what a ticket holder is able to access, and then also if you are accepted as a teacher, what your expectations are as far as what you are going to provide.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So there's generally a free, it's a freemium model, I think it's called in marketing circles. So the basic pass if for an attendee is free. So they will get access to, in my case, 30 different workshops over the course of 3 days, and a whole load of bonuses as well, like things like checklists, patterns, cheat sheets, things like that, templates.
Okay.
The premium ticket holder, the VIP in my case, then gets access to those workshops for 6 months. And in fact, I'm changing it this time. In the past, they used to get access to all the workshops on day one. But now they're getting access to all the workshops as soon as they buy their VIP ticket. So that's from November 25th for the January event. So they would get access to all of the workshops for longer, and they get access to hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars of additional bonuses, which would be in the course of other e-courses, tickets for events, patterns, giveaways, and things like that. The advantage for the teacher is that this is a great way of getting exposure to a broader community. And most of all, from the teacher's perspective, it's growing their mailing list. So some of the teachers at the last event grew their mailing list by more than 1,000 people. And when you are a online teacher or an artist, it's really your mailing list that is often your main source of income, because we all know how vicarious the social media algorithms are about whether people actually see your content or not. Definitely going to arrive in their inbox, and it's then you've got a much higher chance of them opening it and reading it than you have of them viewing the content online.
Right. And so how is it that the teachers can grow their mailing list? Do you provide them with the email addresses of the people who register, or how is it that their email list can grow by that much?
I don't provide the email addresses because there would be all sorts of data issues with that, especially because the audience is literally, I mean, it was from 70 different countries last time. So the audience is very international, with a bias, of course, but towards the US and Canada. But no, the email addresses all come from the bonuses. So there's that free bonus that attendees sign up for. Attendees only sign up for the ones that they want. And in signing up for the bonus, they're also signing up to that
I,
person's mailing list.
I see. Okay.
So the better the bonus, the more attendees are going to sign up. And then, of course, it's the same thing with the VIP bonuses as well. And there it's advantageous to the teacher to provide a great VIP bonus, because in marketing speak, if someone is buying a VIP pass, this shows that they have purchase intention, and that they are willing to spend money on quilting courses and quilting products. And so that's a much more valuable customer to the quilting teacher than is a free attendee, who is still valuable and is still has the potential to become a purchaser in the long term, but hasn't necessarily made that commitment early on.
Right. Okay. That's really valuable to understand. So if anyone out there is like, I've never thought about doing one of these, now you might have an insider perspective on how it works, why it works, and why it might be something that you could consider applying to teach. And I'm guessing that now, after a few runs of these, that the application to teach might be somewhat competitive because it is a good opportunity for people.
Yeah, we do get more applicants. And initially it was me going out to people that I knew through my network and through other people's networks. But now we do definitely get a lot more applications than we can take. But that's not to say that you shouldn't apply, because for instance, the Tour de Fabric in the summer next year has the potential to go much wider than just the teachers that are physically teaching. Like, there's going to be the opportunity for anyone with a mailing list to get involved and run some kind of quilt along as part of that event. So if anybody is interested in getting involved in any way whatsoever, whether as a teacher or a sponsor, which is also possible, then they can go to Quilt N Learn. So QUILTNLEARN.com. And you can register there as a teacher or a sponsor, or there's just contact details to get in touch, or to simply join the newsletter for when the next event goes live.
That's super. And you were just saying yesterday that you've gotten some wonderful sponsors on board. We haven't talked about that yet. So, for the sponsors, what is the advantage? I'm guessing they get to be in front of a larger audience as well.
Absolutely. And not only a larger audience, but this is a highly engaged audience. These people that are registering are then going to be logging in multiple times and visiting the website fairly frequently, because there are live events, there are sew-alongs, there are kind of prizes to be won, as well as all the workshops and the bonuses. So they have a highly engaged audience that they are 100% sure are quilters. So it filters out all the other kind of craftspeople that might not be of interest to them. So we've got people like Clover, who are famous for their Japanese notions, and Olfa, who of course are rotary cutter legends,
Mhm.
and Aliso irons. And then we've also got the fabulous Anne Cardoza, who's the quilter's coach, and she is a special.
Oh, I think your volume cut out. I'm not sure. Hey, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it might be on my end. I don't know. Back.
Back.
Yes.
Sorry,
Nope.
I have a limiter to stop me being on social
Oh, I
media
love
all the time, all day, and it just came on.
that.
So, but
Um,
yes,
yes.
Anne Cardoza, the quilters coach, she specializes in helping quilters kind of get their lives together, really, and combat their unfinished objects, to get organized, to prioritize not just their quilting, but also their lives in general, if they desire it. And she's our main sponsor for the January event. And I'm so excited. She just emailed me yesterday to ask if it was okay to include an additional prize to attendees to win her like gold star course, which is worth $600. And of course, I said, yes, that would be fine to give that away to attendees, as well as everything else she's doing, it, which involves a live coaching session and her own workshops. So, yeah, delighted to have her involved with us.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this is such a cool business. I love the model. I think it works well for designers and teachers and brands and consumers. So it's like win all the way around. Very cool way to structure things. And, it kind of pulls on maybe your tech background, but without, I'm sure it has its stressful moments, but without some of the external stresses of your former job.
It is. It combines perfectly. You do have to have a certain level of tech knowledge to make everything work together, but it combines perfectly my tech, my marketing, and then my own artistic work as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really ideal for me.
Absolutely. Okay, so folks should go to Quilt and Learn. That's an N in between Quilt and Learn, and sort of check out everything that's there. I'm sure you have an email list that they can sign up for, follow you on Instagram as well, and kind of keep up with what the opportunities are, whether you are a quilter and want to take these classes, or you're a teacher or designer, or you're a brand and think, hey, this is something to put on, the possibilities list for 2025.
Absolutely. And if they sign up to the newsletter before November 25th, sorry for the sales pitch, they'll get a huge discount as a Black Friday offer on the VIP passes. So worth signing up.
Yeah, sign up now. You can always unsubscribe to things, people, but always sign
Absolutely.
up. I love signing up for things because you get to see what everybody's doing and it's always interesting. So, Bea, this has been great. Thank you so much. We love having you as a member. Thank you for coming to the roundtables and just being an all-around active participant. We
Oh,
love it.
thanks, Abby. I really appreciate you and everything you do too. Thank you.
All right, bye everybody. See you next week. Have a great rest of your day.